Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. Happy Monday, week of Christmas. I'm Miles Debsky with RCC, hosting today from up in Portland, Oregon. We got a great broadcast today. We're starting a quick 3 days on how to use value list with global fields and how that can drive your relationships. For those who are new here, we're broadcasting out to 3 different platforms. We are on Discord, on Twitch, and on YouTube, so you can watch from any of those places. Type in questions. Nick will grab some of them, and then some I can pass through to him, so I'll be monitoring those. We got a good group over on Discord. That's usually our active little area. Most of the normal troublemakers, Agent Chevy, Brotherman, David Angel, Dennis Chow, Ed Burkle, Foxy Jack, Guididi, Jericho, John Haggerty, Ken Tooley, Kyle Williams, Moki, Net Lobster, Scott Kane, Afterland, and TK. So welcome, everyone. Just little housekeeping thing. Obviously, fmtraining.tv, that's where kind of all of this training side of RCC lives. So feel free to check that out for video courses, bundles, books, and of course this daily training at 1 p.m. That's my little boilerplate. Nick, I'm going to kick it over to you and jump in.
Yeah, thank you, Miles. So, I don't know if you look like a Fremen, but definitely you are guilty of cultural appropriation, because you're in Oregon and you have a Golden State kind of so that is cultural appropriation. It's not good. Just kidding. So, thank you everybody to joining today for this 3 days of crazy value stuff. So I want to I took 3 days. Many people say, oh, what are you going to tell for 3 days about value list? There's a lot of to say, but this broadcast is not just about value list. Okay, it will be much more than that. I mean, it will be about value list, but how to use value list most, the most often, how to apply things and to the value list. Okay, and we see there's many ways you can use value list, and sometimes you want to address issues, and you come with very complicated ways to do things when you can just use you can use value list as a support, right? But there's some ways to do that. So first of all, I'm going to start with showing you the basic, of what you need to know to follow this broadcast. Okay, so you need to know some stuff about globals, global fields, and you need to know some stuff about value list. Okay, so and after that we can start with this. So let me switch to my screen here and start with the desktop 2 share. Okay, so let's start with this. So first of all, I want you to know about globals. Okay, so we all know what global means. So when I have a global, let's say I have a global field here. So I'm saying, okay, global. This is a global field. So since we have no way to know if a field is global or not, I'm using this convention here to add a J underscore in front of global. Some people are using this character here to say this is the global. You can have your own. I like the G and what's the name underscore, because when I have a lot of globals in the list, I just tap J and then I go straight to my globals. Okay. So what a global? So let's create a global field. So you create a global field by going to option, going to storage, and here, and then here you have the global field. Okay. So what the global field is doing, basically. Okay. So we all know what global fields do, but I prefer to make sure that everybody knows. So a global field is, let's say I have three records here, 1, 2, and 3. If I'm putting something here, hello, this here is available everywhere on all my records. So it's going across records. Okay, so you put something here, and it's valid on all records. Now, something else you need to know: in network, when you use the file on a network, when you share the file, what you put in the global, it's valid through all records for you only, and it gets wiped out when you close the file. So that means, let's say you have two users. I put hello and somebody else put how are you, okay? I will still see hello. It will say how are you, right? Across records. And when we both close the file, the global gets wiped out. When we restart, the file is not there. So I'm not going to do a course about global, but you need to know about global. So let's say I'm putting hello here. So now what you need to know about global is this. If I go to another layout, which is in another table, I have 4 tables: manager, account, contact, project, okay? If I'm going to account, right, and I want to drag from, see, manager is unrelated. See, manager, where I have the global is in the manager table, is not related. It's unrelated. If I go there and I drag the global here, you will see that it works. I have access and I can change it. And if I change here in account, I'm going to manager, is changed also there. So that means, what that means, it means that global field not only share the data across all records, but they jump from context to context, even though you have no relationship. Okay, that's the only one. Only global do that. Otherwise, if you go there and you drag a field from an unrelated records that is not global, here what you get. Bam, unrelated record, unrelated table. But here no, because it's a global, right? So globals jump across table, okay, and they share the same data across all records. This is very important you to know that, okay, for what's follow. Okay, so now assume that you know that. Okay, so Moki said what, you didn't know that, Moki? Okay, so see, okay, so now you know that across table, globals across table without any relationship, we don't care about that, okay, and across records within the table. So all the records, all the table, it's okay. So that is done. We can cross the strike through this topic. Now I want you to show you something about value list. Okay, so value list, we have multiple value lists. So we have 3 different type of value list. Okay, I'm not going to talk about that. This is borrowed value list from another file, which makes sense. You know, you click here, you go to another file, and you have an existing value list from another file, and you bring it. That's it. It's a borrowing from another file. So it's not important. It's not important for us. You have the custom values where you type your own pretty much, and then you have them. Okay, that custom, but it's hard coded. That means that is, you need to type here. You need to type here. Bam, bam, bam. Okay. So this is what we have. We have custom values, and then we have use value from fields. That means, okay, I can go and ask whatever in a field, and the value list engine will return all the data. So demonstration, okay? I want all the managers, okay? I want all the managers. So I'm going here, I'm going to managers, and I'm going to pick up the manager name, okay? So far so good. I want the list of the managers. So I'm going to the manager table and I'll take manager name. What this will return, right? It will return this. Let's have a test. I'm going here, and I'm applying a pop-up menu, and I'm using my value list. Okay, so I have my 3 guys here: Nick Hunter, Richard Carlton, and admin. If I'm see. Okay, it's by alphabetical order, by the way. And you cannot change the order. Don't ask me. you can't change the order. When you are using value lists from fields, it is not possible to sort otherwise than alphabetical, period. That being said, we can move on. So if I add here, I had Miles, okay, I think it's like this, right? Right, Miles?
It's a I at the end, but that
It's the
works
I.
too.
Yeah. Okay, so so that means you're not Polish, because Polish we have the Y at the end. Okay, so Miles Devsky. Okay, so I just added Miles. So here, I have Miles. So far, so good. That means the value list will return every single value, okay, every single value in this. If I duplicate, if I have twice the same value, like here I have twice the same, it will return only one. That means it will compress. It won't say Miles Devsky twice. Even if I have 2 times, 3 times, 4 times the same, it will compress. Okay, you have only, I found that you have many of this, but I compress it and you have only one. Okay, so that being said, we understand what's going on here. So now what maybe you don't know, okay? Maybe you don't know, I don't know. Okay. If I ask the value list to, to borrow the field manager from the manager table. But that means that this, if I go to account, which is another, which is another, what's the name, table. If I want, for example, here, I want the manager of this account, okay? Manager name. I create the manager name here. Manager name, right? I apply this. I put the pop-up menu and I say managers, and here I have the manager now. So this account is managed by Miles Dempsey, or this one is managed by Nick Herndon. Okay, so the value list still work in another context. That means even though the value list, I ask the value list to go to, the manager table, even though I am in the account table, which has no relationship between them, okay, it still works. So now, what do we know so far? We know that globals are jumping across tables, right? And we also know that value lists are jumping across table. Both of them are jumping across table. Okay? Okay. So now I want you to know something, but maybe you don't know. Okay, so let's move on. Okay. Let's say I have a table here, and I call that I have a table here, value lists. Okay, it's a table, and in this table I have multiple stuff here. I have units, for example. I have a title. Okay, and I have a I don't know. Okay, let's say the title and units. Okay, I have two fields here. Okay, in this table value list. So I'm going to the value list layout, and I have those two fields. Okay, so let's do something else here. Let's do this. I want those two. I want those two like this, and I want like this. Okay? So I have two fields, and I have one record. One record, I have a table, one record, and I have two fields. Okay? Title is Miss, Mr. under, whatever you want to what's the name? Lord or whatever. I don't know what to put there. Miss, Mr. or son or whatever. Mother, whatever. And units you put centimeter or pounds, kilogram, stuff like that. What you want to put here. Okay, square feet, square feet, units, box. Okay, so you have units, and you have title. Okay, so now I want to get a value list out of this. Okay, how that could be possible? Okay, how that could be possible? So let's say I'm going to the value list here, and I'm going to create two value lists. One is units. Okay, so I go to the field here. I'm going to the value list, and I take the units. Okay, and I duplicate this, and I ask for the title. Actually, we can call that family title. And I change this to titles. Okay, and so let's rename that family title. Okay, so now I want to continue test here. Okay, so I use the units here, right? Boom, I have my value list with the units. So I could build a value list based on one record with a field with multiple value inside. If I'm adding something like kilometer per hour, for example, miles per hour. Okay. If I have this, miles per hour. If I add those two, I go here. I need to validate this. I have those two. Kilometer per hour, miles per hour, right? So here, so you understand the benefit of this now. Okay. So let's recap a little bit here what we have. Okay, we have the global that jumped across, tables, unrelated table. Value lists that jump across, unrelated table as well. And now you see that value lists can gather data from multiple records or gather data from one record with a multi-value field. Okay, so this is important to know because many people doesn't know that. They don't know that you can build a value list based on one field. So that's cool, especially when you want to have a calculated value list. Let's say you want to get data from multiple table, right? So, and you set a field with multiple data from multiple table, you set the field, and then boom, okay, you have a value list based on the calculated field. You know what I mean? So you don't need to play with a super duper complicated value list calculation. You just do your calc, get, for example, variable. You set a field with this variable, and then you have a value list pointing to that field, and you can have a kind of a value list that get calculated on the fly. For example, you want to calculate a value list on the fly. You do this. You do your calculation. You get your data on a variable. You have the stuff you want to do, or variable or calculated field or whatever, and then you point to that field, right? With one record. You need to have one record, not multiple records. So one record with one field, and then you point to this. So now something else that you need to know. Okay, you cannot point a value list to a global field. You cannot do this. You cannot go there, create a value list, and say, I'm going to manager, and I point to a global field. That won't work. It won't work because the field cannot be indexed. So it's important that the field gets indexed here in order to get the value list to work. Value lists need an index field. So that's why it is, to answer the question that nobody asked me, Yes, it is possible to point the value list to a calculation. Calculation is possible, okay, to get that point to a calculation. Okay, it's possible to do this, for example, have a list or whatever, 1+1, and it's possible, but you need here to say it needs to have at least it cannot be minimal, but it has to be indexed. Okay, so it has to be indexed. It cannot be unstored. That's what I want to say. It cannot be this. If it's this and you point the value list on that field, it's like pointing on a global. The same thing, right? You need to have the index, okay? When you want to point to a calculation. So here we have a question. I love question. Maybe at the end next session today, can we create a record from a value list? Can we create records from a value list? Yeah. Yeah, we can. I can show you that, Agent Chevy. Yeah, at the end of this call today, promise. Anyway, I took 3 days. You know what? I took 3 days to do this broadcast to address this topic because of this. Because I want to be able to have my time, take my time, and explain quietly, slowly. Because we have, we have our people here on Discord, YouTube, and watching this live, and pretty much they are advanced, and they are people, maybe they don't know to listen to this. But then we have a lot of people after that going to watch the video after, on the replay on the YouTube or Twitch, whatever, and we don't know the level, so we need to address the thing calmly. I cannot go too fast here. And Agent Chevy, I will do it. So it's not that complicated, but there's multiple ways, but there's one way I like it more than the other, and I'm going to show you. So now I addressed pretty much all the problem here, and I want to start addressing the thing more, not complex, but more fuzzy. Okay. What I want you to understand is, now that you know that, you understand more why we have in all our development, when you have a kind of advanced development, you have a table that we call globals. We have a table, we call that globals. And why? It's because this table is where we are going to put all the global we need. Since you learn that globals are jumping from, you can access a global field from everywhere, in the solution, it's better, instead of having the global, some global in user table, some global in contact table, some global in the account table, no. Instead of doing this, you gather all the global that you need to share, all the global that you need to share with the here. For example, I have what I call a G, or I have a search field, I have a search field always, and this I'm using this global. I'm using this when I need to have a field to type something and perform a search. Okay, this is where I put my field because I know where it is, and I don't have to create multiple fields. I have this field. It's okay, right? So, and also I need to know, most of the time I need to know here, and that is important for our demonstration today. I need to know the logged in user ID, I need to know that, right? So most of the time, because there's many things that are based on the logged in user ID, on who is logged in, who started the solution. Okay. So here in my solution here, I have, so how to get the ID of who is logged in. For example, in managers, right? Actually, I can call that, let's call that differently for the demonstration. Let's call that logged in manager ID. Okay? So the manager ID is who is logging in the solution. Only managers can go to my solution. Okay. So I have the logged in manager. Okay. So Nick Hunter, that is ID. That's a global, pretty much is the UUID that is, I create a new, when you create a new record, you have a UUID. Okay. So this is a UUID for the manager. So see, Nick Hunter has one, Richard Carton has another one, admin has another one, and Miles Dempsey has another one. Okay. So also I have in security, I have the admin, Nick Hunter, and I can add Miles Dempsey as well. Okay. Okay, and let's put it full access. So okay, I have my managers in security, and the name of the account matches the name of the manager. Okay. So I have a little script, very simple, on first window open when you start up the solution. Okay. That set a variable with the current account name. When you log in, you have the account name. So what the account name here, you get account name. Okay. So Nick Hunter. Okay. Because the account name matches the name of the manager. Okay. So that's cool. I perform a restore and I'm looking in a manager. I'm going to look for that name for Nick Hunter. Okay. And then I'm setting a field. Remember what I told you? I told you that you can set a global field across table without relationship. So we don't care. Okay. I want to set the logged in manager ID, right, with whatever ID I am in. Because here what happened. I'm logging in. I set a variable with the account name. In the manager table, I'm looking for that account name, and then whichever account name I land here, I'm going to set this ID into the global. So I want to set the global field with the ID of the fund manager. So demonstration. So here, open recent value list. Okay. So I'm logging in with Nick Hunter. Okay. But here what happened. So I have this, right? Set current account name. So I set my variable here, account name Nick Hunter. I perform a find. He found me. See, one found. I set the global from, and then show all record because I want to be like all the records. Okay. So far so good. So now technically, okay. If I'm showing here in the global, if I'm showing the logged in ID manager, yeah, bingo. This is the global, and this is the ID manager. So I have in my global table, I set, it is there. It is there. I have so I know now I have a global where I have the ID of the logged in manager. So far, so good, right? So it's not difficult to understand that so far. I hope so. Okay. So now that I have this, one thing I want to do, let's start simple. Okay. Let's start very simple. See here, I have different departments. Nick Hunter is in department marketing, account, and sales. Okay, and his location is California, Texas, Florida, and Georgia. And here, different here: California, Nevada, Michigan, and Texas, and Florida. See, so everybody is different. Okay, admin, we don't care. And let's say Miles is only in engineering and design, right? Let's say in the engineering, and is in Oregon. So I don't have Oregon. Let's add Oregon in the value list. So this is the custom value list, by the way. So I just go there. I set this. Okay. So now, and I say Oregon. So now you understand, for example, the advantage, right? So those are, those are custom value lists. So you need to go to value list, you need to go there, right? And you need to you pretty much you need to let the people to have the ability to change the value list. You know what I mean? Okay. Or so it's very so you need to let the people to go there. Sometimes you don't want. So it would have been very, very clever to go there and to add departments, right? And to add locations, okay, right? And so let's replace those two because we don't need them, or we can add more, right? So you did this, right? Blam. Let's duplicate this. No, let's do this. This and this, and I'm going to add location and department. Okay, I'm adding those two, right? Okay, here, and I'm going to do this. Okay, so now I have two more. Okay, and we can do that. Okay, so now instead of having those, now that we know that we can do that, instead of having this, we can do this department, and we can do this. We can just copy paste those, right? It's there, right? And then now we can go to value list and say, no, we don't care about that. I want to go to the value list here, my table value list. That is departments, okay? And this is value lists, and this is locations. So now the benefit of, remember, I needed to add Oregon. Okay? So now I'm going here in managers. So still, see, it's still working. Okay, it's still working. I still have my list here, but I want to add Oregon here. So you go to the value list table layout. You go here and you add Oregon. So, and normally it should be there. Yeah, Oregon is here. See, so. Yeah, you need to validate. You need to refresh. So, so I have Oregon now. Okay. So so you know what I mean. You know the benefits of this. Instead of letting the people to go there, manage value lists, then they have access to all the value lists, and maybe you don't want it. So you know what? To have custom. So this is great. Okay. Okay. So now that you learn about this. Now what I want a value list of only the department I selected and the location I selected. For example, here I have I have a custom list of accounting, marketing, sales, and here I have California, Florida, Georgia, etc. I want to have a value list with only the one I selected, based on my ID. So that means if somebody else logged in, if Miles logged in, he will have this value list, right? So I want a custom value list. I want a related value list, okay, of only my selection, right? And I want that value list to be working across the board. I want this value list to work all across the solution. So picture this. It will be a related based value list. So then we will start having relationship involved. And I want, despite that fact, I want that value list to work everywhere. Remember what I told you at the beginning, very important. I keep repeating this. Globals jump from table to table, even without relationship. And value list does the same. A value list does the same. Jump across. Okay. Both are jumping across. Okay. So let's now join both together. You remember what I told you. I want to have only the selected department and only the selected location of the current logged in manager. Okay? But I don't want a complicated script and set field. And I don't want that. I want a value list, period. I don't want crazy crap, okay? So I duplicate the manager. Okay, I add the table of occurrence that go to the manager, and this is, I call this relationship for the demo, okay? I call this relationship managers, manager, what was the name? Department, okay? Because this is what it is. So that is a department. I want all the lists. It's a value list. Okay, it's a manager department value list. Actually, it's the logged in. Okay. Yeah, I know the name is long, but just make sure you understand. Okay. So here, remember in there, I have the ID of the manager, right? Remember. I link the ID, whatever the ID in my global, I'm linking this to the manager table here. This is manager, and this is the TOC. So now, this is done. And I'm doing the same thing, logged in location value list. Okay? I'm doing two. From the same table and the same thing. Okay? Okay, I have two things here. Actually, I could have used one. Actually, that is logged in managers. That's it. That's all what I need. You will see. So I have one relationship here. The logged in manager value list. Okay. So because this is the logged in user ID, the logged in manager ID, and so that will change. Each time you logged in, that will be different. Okay. Now you remember what I told you. When you see a checkbox like that, what is actually in the field is this. What is actually in the field? Department and location. It's multiple values. Remember what I told you. I told you that a value list can generate a value list. A value list can be generated out of a list of value within one field. Remember that one? I told you that, right? So, because this is how those works, you know, though all of this works the same. So now what I want to use that ability, but out of multiple records, like 4 records here, I want to extract, I want to narrow down to one record, right? So that's why I have the link. I'm going to value list, and here what I'm going to say. Picture this. New. I want managers, what's the name? Department. I use the values. So remember, I already did a session out of this, but I'm going to tell you a little bit. I want to go to pick up. I'm going to the relationship, the destination relationship, the logged in manager value list. This is where I'm going. I'm going there straight. So I'm going there. I want to pick up information here. I want the information from the department on this occurrence. That's what I want, okay? So I'm going there and I say I want department, but include only related values starting from globals. Because what I want, yes, I want the data from that. I want the department data from that here, from that, what's the name, occurrence, but I want only the one related to that, which is only the one related by ID manager equal ID manager here. So since the managers, all the manager has one UUID, unique ID, that's why we use UUIDs, is because we now is sure that this relationship is one-to-one, and actually it tells you one-to-one, see? is one-to-one. It's not one-to-many. That is many. When you have the cow foot here, we call that cow foot. That means it's many. Here is 1-to-1. That's what it's doing here. Okay? So cow fit, cow, cow. P brands, P, not crows, not is okay. So now you know that. So I want the department list. I want all the department of that guy. So here what happened when I do this. Okay, when I do this, I have the department. So see, I have 3 departments here, right? So now putting a field here, whatever. I'm putting my value pop-up, I have the pop-up here. And I want the manager department. This is the manager department. I have accounting, marketing, and sales, right? But hold on. I have 4 records here. And I have sales, marketing, accounting. I have accounting, marketing, engineering. So no, because it's now is narrowing down to only what is selected. Here I have a full list, and I'm select. Let's say I'm unselecting marketing. I don't have marketing. I'm selecting engineering instead. I have engineering. So picture this. Now I'm logging in with Miles, for example. Okay, so I close, and I open my value list here, and I logged in with Miles Debsky. Okay. What do you know? What do you think I will have in my value list? Only engineering, because so you know what I mean? I didn't do any. There's no script whatsoever. Can you imagine this? No script. Okay, no set field variable and no SQL, and no, we don't need. That means I'm using the trick of this. I'm using the one of the, not the trick. It's like it's a functionality of value list, that the value list can gather values within one field. So now I'm using the globals. I'm setting a global field with the ID of the current manager, okay, and I get whatever in that field in the list. So now demonstration. Let's say I'm going here. No need to, I'm going to the by global here, and I'm changing this. Let's remove this. I'm changing this ID. I go there, and I want, Richard ID. So this is the global, right? I change this. Look what happened. Bam, accounting, engineering, marketing. Accounting, engineering, marketing. Now I'm going there. I'm selecting Nick. I'm changing on the fly my global. Up, it changes. Accounting, engineering, sales. Because this is in alphabetical order. Okay. So that being said, without any tricks, without any big stuff, you can get whatever a user selected just doing that trick. So now what will get your ravioli in evolution, I don't know, okay, is this. That I have no relationship whatsoever between account, global, and manager. So how the hell I will be able to get in a value list, a related value list, the departments of the logged in user in accounts? No relationship. Demonstration. Here, I'm creating a new field, which is, manager department. Okay. And in account. Okay. So I have the manager name. Now I have the manager department, and I want to point to the manager department. Okay. So here what happened. it works, right? If I change on the fly from that guy to that guy, okay, I'm going there. Don't forget about this. It works. I have accounting, engineering, marketing, which is what this guy is, accounting manager, engineering. So now you get the benefits of this. That means you know that you can have a value list which has a relationship from away from everywhere, okay, not related at all. So you build all your value lists, you build them like this. Each time you need something, you go to the global, you create a global field, and you create your own mini world. You have the mini world over there for value list, right? And you don't, unless you need a record related value list, which is different. Here, I don't need record. I don't need a record based value list. It's an ID based value list. Okay, and you know what I mean. So it's global for the entire solution. That's why we call that table global. Is because it's for the entire solution. I want those value lists to work everywhere. So I established what I want the value list to be. I established my condition, like for example, the ID, the logged in ID must match the manager ID. Okay. And then I'm doing the relationship. But even though I don't have relation between manager, account, global, I don't have relationship between this. The value list engine will make its case here, and then you will be able to get that case, get that result from everywhere. Why? Because you have the combination of global field that can jump from table to another table without relationship, and the value list engine that do exactly the same. So if you don't have a global field here, that stuff doesn't work. If you put that as a non-global, it doesn't work anymore. It needs to be a global, because otherwise you cannot do what I've just done. So do we have any question? Do we have any reaction? Do we have any?
Only thing I'm seeing is a couple people talking about, sorting. More like wish it was there, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not. Like I said at the beginning, I don't even want to discuss about this. It's not possible. It's not done. That's why. Okay. That's why. Okay. FileMaker is not. It's a toolbox. Okay. You have what we call out of the box. Okay. You have out of the box stuff. Okay. So, for example, recently did some an improvement in my electrical in my basement. Okay, so the guy came with tools. He came with power saw. He came with pipes, tubes like these pipes, conduit pipes. He came with screws. He came with wires and stuff like that. Okay, the wire was there. He came. It's a bare wire, it's a green wire, green, white, and black wires, electrical. Okay. So this is out of the box. He went to Home Depot, and this is what he got. He got what's the name? The wires, the pipes, the screws, okay, and the tools. FileMaker is exactly the same thing. Okay, so FileMaker has out of the box stuff, and then nothing prevents you to just say, okay, you know what? I'm doing my own stuff. I'm going to do my own stuff. Okay. So, that's why you can create your own stuff. That's why I don't pretty much when I need a related value list to be sorted, I don't use value list. I'm using a popover with a portal inside, which is much better, by the way, when I need something like this, like here, right? So I can show you. Do I have a FM launchpad here somewhere? Hold on. Let me go there. FM launchpad. V1. You can use this one. Admin. So when I need a value list, when I need a list of value, I don't care. I don't want to use value list because this is a FileMaker terminology. So when I need something like this, this is a value. This is a list of value. See, list of values. And I want that to be sorted in one way, right? So it is not. It's not this. It's not this, right? It's this, right? It's a value list that we are going to learn about. This. It's a value list. Proof of it. When I go to value list here, I go to asset, and I go to asset type. Where is the asset type? Do we have asset type? Careers. Where's the asset type? I don't remember where it is. Anyway, it's a value. It's a list. It's a list that I have from records, right? So it's like a value list. It acts like a value list, but it's not from a value list. So nothing can prevent you to build your own system. Even a radio button, you can build your own system. You can build your own radio buttons, and you can build your own checkbox and stuff like that, right? So I'm going to show you that during my 10 days design course. Okay, so I'm not going there, but you can build your own, and it's not that difficult actually to build your own stuff. Okay, so so now I want to answer Agent Chevy. I said, okay, so that is done for today. So now you saw stuff here, which is kind of cool because you know that you can cross jump. Okay, so but I'm going to show you more things tomorrow. But we are going to follow this, And the third day, if we have time, we can what's the name? We can discuss and stuff like that. But I want to answer Andrew Chevy. I have 5 minutes. So yeah, it's very simple when you want to do this. So let's say I'm going to recycle my value list here, and I'm going to say I'm going to have a new layout here pointing to the value list, and here I want I create this, and I'm going to say data. Okay. So let me turn off my notification, otherwise everybody is going to. So, and I want to create, and I have a list here. So this is a up. Okay, so this is table view. Okay, and I want to put the data here. Okay, so this is a table view. Okay. So I have data like that. And what I want to do, okay, I want to create a record out of a value list. Okay. So let's say I'm creating a value list, right? And I want all the city of contacts, for example. Okay. So I'm going contacts also, all contact cities. Okay. So this is what I want to do, okay? And I want to create records out of this list, okay? So the list, so here, Kaz was right on telling you what to use. First of all, you need to copy the name of the value list. It's important. You cannot rename this. You cannot rename this anymore, because if you do this and you rename, you break it. So that's why I say I put that when I need that, when I point, when the name of the value list is inside the calculation, I'm adding this in the name. Do not rename. That means you don't have to. You cannot rename this. Or if you rename, you need to change the name otherwise. So this is how it works. So now I'm going to use the function that name value list items. The file name we don't care because we point to the same. And this is the name of my value list. So this is the value list I have. This is all the CD of all the contacts, correct? Okay. So this is what I have. So now that I have this, it's very simple. I have a technique, very, very simple. Some people use the virtual technique, and I don't like it. It's not great. Okay. So when is something recurring? It's something that you do that often. Okay. So here, what you need to do, you create a script and you say plus here. Okay. So that is set records from value list. Okay. So first of all, you set a variable just for debug purpose. Okay. And the variable said this is a value. This is a list of value. Okay. List of values. And the list of value is this. This is a list of values. So now we have the list of value. Okay. Now what you do, you set another variable and you say value count. Value count. So this is very important. So what is the value count? You count how many values you have in this. Sorry. Hold on. Value count. This. So this function will count how many values you have in this here. It's very important because most of the time people are relying on the record number. I'm going to explain that later, but this is how you need to do to have something bulletproof. It's bulletproof. Okay. So you have those two. Okay. So now it's simple. What you do is you create a loop. You use loop. And then you set a counter. You set a variable. You set a counter. So this is a counter. And what is a counter? Okay. Whatever is actually in the counter plus one. So what happened? The first time that the loop starts, it starts with nothing in counter. So he said nothing plus one, and we say, okay, now is one. And then the next time, the next loop, he said, oh, counter is one plus one, now is two. Oh, counter is two plus one equal three, etc. Okay. So now you say new record. Now you have two ways to do that. You have two ways to do things. The first way you can say set field. Okay, set field. You point to the field you want to change, which is data. And then here what you do. You get the value of your list of value. Okay, that's why I call that way. See, the name of my, because when you call the value list, when you call the function, it comes with this list of value. So just what you need to do is this, because my variable is named $list of values. So and default it come like this. You do this and that's it. And here you say whatever in the counter. So you get the value in the list, it will get the first value, the second value, the third value based on the counter, right? Now to do this, you need to exit the loop. And this is where it is critical. This is why this is bulletproof instead of counting the get record number, there's no guarantee that the counter and the get record number will match, okay? So, so now that you have this, you end the loop. No, you exit loop. Exit loop if, and now it's very simple. Whenever the counter equal the number, the value count. So let's say you have 10 values, 10, and the counter here arrive at 10. He said, okay, counter equal 10, value equal 10, so I stop. When this equal this, stop. Right? When you base on the get record number, because it is going to create records, right? And people says, oh yeah, when you arrive at the record number 10, yeah, but it's not bulletproof for multiple reasons. I cannot explain right now because we don't have the time. But this is how you do. Okay, that's the version 1. So let's try it. Okay, let's try it. So I'm here, I'm creating this, and voila, I have my list. Okay, this is the version number 1. Okay, so if we do, let's delete this. So let's debug it. Okay, so what is doing this is doing it gets the value list. So I have my list of value now, list of values. Okay, I have my list of value. They're here. My variable is there. Okay, and then here now, and now I have the count. The count is 208. There's 208 values there. Now he goes there. He said counter is 1. So now counter is 1. He sets the data, gets the first value. He gets the first value. See here, the first value of the list, which is Akron, and then he continue the loop. Now he said number 2. Now it's 2. Counter is number 2. So he created the record, and then he said with the second value with Allentown, etc., 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 etc. Whenever the loop arrives, when the counter equal 208, it will stop it. Okay, so that's the first way to do that. Then you have the most advanced one, which is what I use most of the time, is this. I copied this, get value, blah, blah, okay? And I'm going here, and on the auto entry calculation, I'm putting the calculation here. What will happen when you create the record at creation, it will suck automatically the data without this. You don't need a set field, which is a very complicated. Complicated, which is a kind of a. When you have a lot of things, let's say you have millions of records, or thousands of records, or stuff like that, or you have a slow environment, or you have this is way better to do that, but it's a little bit more difficult to debug because you have no clue what's going on unless you know it. So pretty much most of the time what I'm doing to remember that I transfer the set field to the auto entry calculation, I'm doing this. Transfer to the auto entry calc. So I'm getting the set field, I'm putting the set field, right? I deactivate the set field, right? I deactivate this, and this stays here as a auto entry. I keep that as a reminder, that I transferred this to the auto entry calculation. So demonstration without this, right? So when I do this, I delete this, delete all record, okay, and I shouldn't have done that. I delete all the record. No, never mind. I'm going to fix it. And so now I'm doing this. So let's launch this script again. Bam. So I don't have set field, and I still have the data. And this is much faster, much faster, because when you create the record, right, you suck the information immediately. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I need to. You guys are getting the file today, but I deleted a record here. I shouldn't have done. So I'm going to. What's the name? I'm going to repair because I don't have value list anymore. I deleted the record. So yeah, this is the. But I have them here.
Without
value. Yeah, but because I did the thing. It's easy because. Yeah, I still have them. Not the unit, but the department. I have them here, so it's okay. Again, I'm going to fix that. So yeah, so that was cool. Tomorrow we are going to get a new level on this, and hope you enjoy. So thank you very much, Miles.
Yeah,
you land the plane, or you crash the plane, or you land the plane today?
We'll land it. I'll do the outro.
Okay.
Thanks, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.